Additional. Favorite Pokemon? Yeah, I don't expect. It would be good for research.
Think about the money. Today, let us discuss about the Atterberg's limits. Atterberg's limits. What is soil consistency limits or Atterberg's limits? So, what is this consistency limits or Atterberg's limits definition? In 1911, a Swedish agriculture engineer, Atterberg, mentioned that a fine-grained soil can exist in 4 states. Fine-grained soils can exist in 4 states. Fine-grained soil can exist in 4 states, namely liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, and then solid state. These are the 4 states a soil can exist. These are the 4 states soil can exist. The fine-grained soils can exist in these following 4 states. One is liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, solid state. So the definition of the Atterberg's limits or consistency limits is, it is the water content. These are the Atterberg's limits or consistency limits are the water contents at which the soil changes from one state to the other. The soil changes from one state to the other are known as consistency limits. Or Atterberg's limits. So these are the water contents at which the soil changes from one state to the other are known as consistency limits. So Atterberg is the person name who gave these limits, consistency limits. He is a Swedish agricultural engineer. Atterberg mentioned that a fine-grained soil can exist in 4 states. These are the possible states of the fine-grained soil: liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, solid state. Yeah. These are the water contents at which the soil changes from one state to other state are known as the consistency limits or Atterberg's limits. So limits are liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit. States are 4 states: liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, solid state. 4 states. 3 limits. Limits are liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit. So these are the 4 states: liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, solid state. And the boundary between these 2 states, liquid state to plastic state, the boundary condition is liquid limit. Plastic state to semi-solid state, the boundary condition is plastic limit. Semi-solid state to solid state, the boundary condition is shrinkage limit. The boundary condition is shrinkage limit. The boundary condition is shrinkage limit. So these are the water content at which water content the soil mass changes from liquid state to plastic state, that is known as liquid limit. At which water content the soil mass changes from plastic state to semi-solid state, that is known as plastic limit. At which water content the soil mass changes from semi-solid state to solid state is known as shrinkage limit. So these are the water contents: liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit are the water contents at which the soil mass changes from one state to other state, this state to this state. It's like this, one state to other state. It is the boundary water content. At that water content, the soil mass changes from one state to the other state. That is known as the Atterberg's limits. These are the three limits: liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit. Now let us explain about each. So the Atterberg limits are the borderline water. That's what I am telling. Borderline water contents separating the different states of a fine grained soil. Separating the different states of a fine grained soil. So this is the water content scale. This is the water content scale. So when the water content becomes 0 to the shrinkage limit, the water is in the fine grained soil is in the solid state. The fine grained soil is in the solid state. When the water content is in the range of the shrinkage limit to plastic limit, it is in the state of semi-solid state. The soil is in the semi-solid state. When the water content is in the range of plastic limit to liquid limit, when the water content is in the range of plastic limit to liquid limit, the soil is in the plastic state. The soil is in the plastic state. When the water content is above this liquid limit, when the water content of the soil is greater than this liquid limit, then that is called as the liquid state. Then that state is known as liquid state. So these are the four states: liquid, semi-solid state, semi-solid state, plastic state, and liquid state. The water content, when the water content is less than or equal to shrinkage limit, then that is known as solid state. When the water content is in between shrinkage limit to plastic limit, the fine grained soil is in the semi-solid state. When the water content is in the range of plastic limit to liquid limit, the soil is in the plastic state. When the water content is greater than the liquid limit, then the soil will be in the liquid state. Then the soil will be in the liquid state. Then liquid limit, liquid limit. The clay flows like liquid when the water content is greater than liquid limit. When the water content is greater than the liquid limit, then the fine grained soil means clay, it will behaves like a liquid. Next, plastic limit. It is the lowest water content where the clay is still plastic. Shrinkage limit. At water content less than shrinkage limit. Water content less than shrinkage limit means it behaves like a solid. When solids, once it reaches the solid state, means its volume will not reduce. Solids volume will not reduce because solids never compressible. So solids volume will not reduce. That's why no volume reduction on drying. Once when you dry the soil, no volume reduction occurs. Because if any water is present in that soil, then any voids are present in that soil, then only that volume reduction takes place. When water content is less than shrinkage limit, it reaches the solid state. That's why no volume reduction on drying. Now let us discuss one by one the Atterberg's limits. First one is liquid limit. What is liquid limit? Liquid limit is the minimum water content. Liquid limit is the minimum water content at which the soil cut by a groove of standard dimensions flows together by 12 mm. When jarred 25 times. So at the liquid limit, the soil has low shear strength. To resist the flow, though it is in a liquid state or fluid state. So liquid limit is nothing but it is the boundary condition. It is boundary condition between the plastic state to liquid state. That's why the soil will have some small shear strength at the liquid limit. Once if the water content is greater than the liquid limit, now it will behave like a fluid. Behaves like a liquid. So the shear strength of the liquid is almost equal to 0. But at the liquid limit point, when the soil has at the liquid limit point, since it is the boundary condition between the plastic limit and liquid limit, soil will have a small shear strength to resist the flow. Significance of liquid limit. Clays with liquid limit less than 50%. So the liquid limit, what is the liquid limit significance means? Whenever the clays liquid limits less than 50% indicates the probable presence of kaolinite. What is kaolinite? It is a clay mineral. When the liquid limit of more than 50%, may suggest the presence of monotomorylonite. A liquid limit of more than 50% may suggest the presence of monomer. That is also another clay mineral. Clays with bentonite may have liquid limit as high as 400%. Clays with bentonite may have liquid limit as high as 400%. Silty clays have very low liquid limit. Silty clays have very low liquid limits. So this is the significance of liquid limit. The clays will have the liquid limit less than 50%. That indicates that probable presence of kaolinite. When the liquid limit is more than 50%, indicates that the presence of monomer in the clay. Whenever the liquid limit is very high, like 400%, means it indicates that bentonite clay mineral is present in the clay. Next, silty clays have very low liquid limit. Silty clays have very low liquid limit. Now, this is the low plasticity soils, intermediate plasticity, high plasticity. This is the equation of the A line. Equation of the A line is 0.73 into liquid limit minus 20. Liquid limit minus 20. It should pass through the 20 actually. Liquid limits pass through the 20. And this line is, this point is at 35. This point is at 35. Yeah, this is correct. This is correct. The equation of the A line, IPI is equal to 0.73 into liquid limit minus 20. It should pass through the liquid limit 20 and it is cut at 35. 30, this is 30, 35, this is correct 20, 35. And then another line should pass through the 50. So this line is passing through 35 and this line is passing through 50. And this area is low plasticity soils. Low plasticity soils indicates low plasticity. And this indicates intermediate plasticity. And this indicates high plasticity. And this line is known as, the equation of A line. So the equation of A line IP, or means plasticity index, IP or PI, that indicates that plasticity index, that is equal to 0.73 into liquid limit minus 20. Liquid limit minus 20. So this is known as plasticity chart. This graph is known as plasticity chart, and on x-axis, on y-axis we should take as liquid limit. On x-axis we should take as liquid limit. This side IP, this side plasticity index. Plasticity index taken on y-axis and liquid limit taken on x-axis. Then draw a graph. So this is the graph. So based on this, this is the soil, low plasticity soils, intermediate plasticity soils, high plasticity soils. Significance of liquid limit. The compression index used in the settlement analysis can be obtained from the value of liquid limit. The compression index, which can be used in the settlement analysis, that can be obtained from the liquid limits. That can be obtained from the value of liquid limit. Next, the consistency of the soil, that is whether the soil is soft, stiff or hard, can be ascertained by using the liquid limit. The consistency of the soil, that is whether the soil is soft or stiff or hard, can be ascertained. Next, determination of liquid limit. Determination of liquid limit. So the liquid limit of soil sample, may be determined in the laboratory either by Casagrande's method or by static cone penetration method. The liquid limit of soil sample may be determined in the laboratory either by Casagrande's method or by the static cone penetration test or the static cone penetration method. Now let us discuss about the Casagrande's method. So Casagrande's method, the apparatus required are Casagrande's liquid limit device, grooving tool, both conforming to IS 9259, IS 1979, spatula 8 centimeters long and 2 centimeters wide, then balance, then oven, then IS 425 micron sieve, IS 425 micron. These are the apparatus required. Then what is the procedure? So let us try to understand the liquid limit test, Casagrande's test. So about 125 grams, about 120 grams of soil, about 120 grams of soil passing through IS 425 micron sieve is taken. About 120 grams of soil passing through IS 425 micron sieve is taken. The soil sample is mixed with the water. The soil sample is mixed with the water such that the sample is stiff enough. And requires about 30 to 35 drops of the cup to cause the standard groove to close. The soil sample is mixed with water such that the sample is stiff enough and requires about 30 to 35 drops of the cup to cause the standard groove to close. So like this is the grooving tool. This is known as Casagrande grooving tool. So here we need to take the soil sample. In this. So from this we need to cut with a spatula. Using here we need to cut that soil sample so that these two things will be separated, and then that should be attached to here. And then using this handle we need to drop that apparatus on this rubber base so that number of blows will take place. How many number of blows required to join this soil samples? Here like this the soil sample will join after some number of blows. So how many number of blows required to join these two soil samples, that we need to record. We need to measure the water content. We need to add some water content to the soil and then conduct the test. So record the number of blows. Again we should add some more water content. For that water content, again how many number again groove it like this here using this grooving tool. Separate the soil sample like this and then keep here, and then blows takes place. How many number of blows required to join the two soil samples? So water content versus number of blows. Like that. See here, the thoroughly mixed soil is kept in the cup and trimmed to a depth of 1 centimeter at a point of maximum thickness. A clean groove is made by moving the grooving tool along the diameter of the cup. Grooving tool of type A, B, C should be used with as few strokes as possible. The cup is lifted and dropped by 10 mm. By turning a crank at the rate of 2 revolutions per second till the groove closes for a length of about 12 mm by flowing. If the soil slides, the result must be discarded. The number of blows required to make the groove close and are counted. A part of the soil sample is kept for water content determination. The test is repeated by varying the moisture content. That's what the test is repeated by varying the moisture content, which may require 4 to 40 number of blows to join that soil sample, to join that groove. So that's why we need to plot a graph between the water content and the number of blows. A graph is drawn between the water content percent on y-axis and number of blows on logarithmic scale on the x-axis. Water content is normal scale on y-axis, and the number of blows required, that is taken on the x-axis at a logarithmic scale. This graph is obtained, is called as flow curve. Let us see that. This is the flow curve. This is the water content in percentage, and this is the number of blows required to join that water sample, soil sample. So this is taken on logarithmic scale. So this curve is known as flow curve. Now from this, how to determine the liquid limit is at 25 number of blows, the corresponding water content. 25 number of blows, the corresponding water content is known as the liquid limit. 25 number of blows, the corresponding water content, we should take it as liquid limit. See, that is the Casagrande's apparatus. That is the Casagrande's test to determine the liquid limit of the soil. This is the Casagrande's liquid limit to determine the Casagrande's apparatus to determine the liquid limit of the soil. So here what we are doing is, we are taking these tools. This is the cup taken in the soil. We should add some water to the soil and then take here. Using this grooving tool, we should cut in the middle, like this V shape occurs, so that these two parts soil samples separated, and then keep here, and then using this handle, we should lift the soil sample up and then fall it, up and fall it like this. Number of blows we should record to join these two soil samples like this. Once it is joined over here, then stop that handling process, I mean blows, and then record the number of blows, and then again change the moisture content, and then again repeat the procedure. Note down the number of blows required to join it. Like this, we should plot a graph. We should plot a graph for liquid water content versus number of blows. Water content versus number of blows. Water content is taken on y-axis at normal scale. Number of blows taken on x-axis. On x-axis at a logarithmic scale. So logarithmic scale. Then the 25 number of blows it required for corresponding water content is known as the liquid limit. For the number of 25, for the number of blows 25, what is the corresponding water content? That is known as the liquid limit of the soil. That is known as the liquid limit of the soil. Next, another liquid limit test is static cone penetration method. Another liquid limit test is static cone penetration test method. Static cone penetration method. IS 2720 Part 5 1965. Apparatus required. Apparatus required is static cone penetrometer. Static cone penetrometer as per IS 2720 Part 5. Cup of 50 mm internal diameter and 50 mm. Cup of 50 mm internal diameter. IS 425 micron sieve. IS 425 micron sieve. Balance. These are the apparatus required. So this is the static cone penetration method you see here. Static cone penetration method. This cone angle is 30 degrees.
YouTube will want to.
Containing organic matter. For soils containing organic matter, the wind drying temperature should not exceed for soils containing some enough soil. The static cone penetration method. So this is the cone at angle 30 degrees plus or minus 1 degree. This is the screw. This is the rod. Then this. Then here bracket. This is the clamp. Fix this. This is the stand. So this here we need to take the soil sample in this cup. Then apply the penetration. Apply the penetration like this here. We need to take the soil sample in this cup and under this here. Then penetrate this. So static cone penetration. Let us see the procedure. A soil sample of about 150 grams passing through 425 microns ISU is taken. Passing through 425 microns ISU is taken. The soil is mixed with water and made into a paste which is uniformly mixed. The paste is transferred into the cylindrical cup of the apparatus and surface trimmed. The paste is transferred into the cylindrical cup of the apparatus means here in this we need to take the soil sample into this cup and trimmed, and the soil is mixed with water and made it into paste which is uniformly mixed. The paste is transferred into the cylindrical cup of the apparatus and surface is trimmed. Care should be taken to see that there is no air trapped. There is no air in the soil sample. That much care we should take. Next, the cone point of the penetrometer. The cone point of the penetrometer is made to touch the surface of the soil paste. The cone point of the penetrometer is made to touch the surface of the soil paste, and the initial reading is adjusted to 0. Then the penetrometer is clamped in this position. The vertical clamp is then released. And allowed to penetrate the soil for 5 seconds. The vertical clamp is then released, allowed to penetrate for the soil for 5 seconds. So this is the vertical penetrometer. We should release this penetrometer into the soil sample for 5 seconds. The test is repeated with varying moisture contents. To get 4 to 5 values is penetration readings between 5 to 25 mm. The penetration readings generally we will obtain in the range of 5 to 25 mm, such that we need to change the moisture content. So the water content at which the penetration is 20 mm, that is the liquid limit. Just like 25 number of blues, the corresponding moisture content is liquid limit in the Cassagrande test. Similarly here, at 20 mm penetration, what is the corresponding water content? That is the liquid limit. Since it is difficult to obtain the penetration of 20 mm exactly, the following equation is used to determine the liquid limit. The equation is WR is equal to WY by 0.77 log Y, where Y in mm is the penetration, when the water content is WY. When the water content is corresponding water content is WY, at that time the penetration is Y. From that we can determine the liquid limit WR is equal to WY by 0.77 log Y. So WR is the liquid limit. So the water content at which the penetration is 20 mm is the liquid limit. Since it is difficult to obtain the penetration of 20 mm exactly, the following equation is used to determine the liquid limit. That is WR is equal to WY by 0.77 log Y, where Y is the penetration in mm and the corresponding water content is WY. So WR is equal to WY by 0.77 log Y. So in this class, what we have discussed so far is Atterberg's limits. What are Atterberg's limits? And what is the definition of Atterberg's limits? These are the water contents at which the soil mass changes from one state to other state. Then what is the liquid limit? And then liquid limit test procedures. Let us complete. The next one is plastic limit. Plastic limit. What is the definition of the plastic limit? Plastic limit is the water content corresponding to an arbitrary limit between the plastic state and the semi-solid states of consistency of soil. Plastic limit is the water content corresponding to an arbitrary limit between the plastic limit and the semi-solid states of consistency of soil. It is also defined as the minimum water content. It is also defined as the minimum water content at which soil will just begin to crumble. Soil will just begin to crumble when rolled into a thread of approximately 3 mm in diameter. When rolled into a thread of approximately 3 mm in diameter. It is also defined as the minimum water content at which a soil will just begin to crumble when rolled into a thread of approximately 3 mm in diameter. Means this is significance of plastic limits. The toughness of the soil sample can be estimated by the amount of pressure required to roll the soil into threads. The amount of the pressure required to roll the soil into threads. Toughness is directly proportional to the plasticity. Toughness is directly proportional to the plasticity. Toughness is directly proportional to the plasticity. Highly colloidal clay has high toughness. Highly colloidal clay has high toughness. Inorganic clay of less plasticity. Inorganic clay of less plasticity is very weak. Very weak. Presence of organic matter increases plasticity. Presence of organic matter increases plasticity. The toughness of the soil sample can be estimated by the amount of pressure required to roll the soil into threads. Toughness is directly proportional to the plasticity. Highly colloidal clay has high toughness. Inorganic clay of less plasticity is very weak. Presence of organic matter increases plasticity. Presence of organic matter increases plasticity. Then, definition of the plastic limit. Definition of the plastic limit. Aim. To determine determination of the plastic limit. Not definition. Determination. Determination of the plastic limit. Determination of the plastic limit. To determine the plastic limit of soil sample, the apparatus required is glass plate or marble plate for rolling. Determine the plastic limit of soil sample, apparatus required glass plate or marble plate for rolling 200 by 150 mm, balance, oven, a rod of glass 3 mm diameter, and about 100 mm long, 3 mm diameter rod and 100 mm long, 3 mm 100 mm long rod should use, and it will glass plate or marble plate of size 200 by 150 mm and a balance, and then oven. These are the apparatus required for the plastic limit test. Apparatus required for the plastic limit test. Procedure. About 200 grams, about 20 grams of soil sample, passing through 425 micron IS sieve. About 20 grams of soil sample passing through 425 micron IS sieve is taken. The soil is thoroughly mixed with distilled water. Such that it can be molded into a ball. The plastic soil mass made into a ball is rolled on the glass plate into threads of 3 mm dia. We should take the soil sample into like converting like small balls and keep that balls on the glass plate of size 200 by 150 mm apparatus already we have explained. On that glass plate, keep that soil ball and then roll it such that balls are rolled on the glass plate and convert that soil ball into a thread of 3 mm dia without crumbling. The soil is then kneaded together and rolled. This kneading and rolling is done until the thread crumbles down. That is, it can no longer be rolled into a thread. The crumbled threads of soil are then taken for water content determination. The water content thus determined gives the plastic limit of soil. Thus, the water content determines the plastic limit of soil. So, 3 mm dia, up to 3 mm dia without crumbling. So, at that time, what is the water content of the soil? That is known as the plastic limit of soil. Plastic limit of this is the apparatus you can see. So, using the fingers, we should roll that soil ball such that it is converted into a 3 mm dia thread. Plasticity index definition. Plasticity index PI is the difference between the liquid limit WL and plastic limit WP, and expressed as a number. Plastic limit IP is equal to WL minus WP. Plastic limit IP is equal to WL minus WP. So liquid limit, how do we determine? By either by using Cassagrande. Generally, the standard test is Cassagrande test, and another test is also known as static one penetration test. And using that, we can determine the liquid limit. And plastic limit, we can determine like this. So once we know that liquid limit and plastic limit, we can determine the plasticity index IP. Plasticity index IP is equal to WL minus WP. Plasticity index PI or IP, range of the water content over which the soil remains plastic. So what is the use of this plasticity index? Means it gives an idea. For us such that the soil is in the range of plastic state limit to liquid limit. Means that is a plastic state. So in this range, the liquid behaves like the soil behaves like a plastic. So the plasticity index is equal to liquid limit minus plastic limit. The plasticity index is nothing but liquid limit minus plastic limit. So it gives the range of water content. Over which the soil remains in the plastic state. See here, this is the plastic limit and this is the liquid limit. Above this, it is the liquid state. Below the liquid limit, below the plastic limit, it is the semi-solid state. So in between the plastic limit to liquid limit, that soil is in the plastic state. So plasticity index gives us an idea that the water content, if the water content range is within this range, then the soil behaves like a plastic. Significance of plasticity index. It is a measure of the plastic range. At what range the soil, what is the range of water content at which soil behaves a plastic. It is a measure of the plastic range. Next, a high plasticity index with a high liquid limit signifies a soil which undergoes a change in its volume. With water content, that is, it is capable of swelling and shrinking. A high plasticity index with a high liquid limit signifies a soil which undergoes a change in its volume with water content. That is, it is capable of swelling and shrinking. Next one, organic soils have less plasticity index. Organic soils will have less plasticity index. Organic soils will have less plasticity index. So high plasticity index with a high liquid limit signifies a soil which undergoes a change in its volume, with water content. That is, it is capable of swelling and shrinking. Organic soils will have less plasticity index. For example, let us see one example. So what is the plasticity index? Let us see here. Plasticity index is nothing but the difference between the liquid limit and plastic limit. Is known as the plasticity index. And this is it gives the range of water content over which the soil is plastic. So like this is the liquid limit minus plastic limit gives the plasticity index. It gives the range of the plastic state. What is the significance of plasticity index? It is a measure of the plastic range. And a high plasticity index soil with a high liquid limit signifies that is a soil which undergoes a change in its volume with water content. That is, it is capable of swelling and shrinking. It is capable of swelling and shrinking. Next one, organic soils have less plasticity index. Organic soils will have less plasticity index. For example, let us see. A clay sample has a liquid limit of 43% and a plastic limit of 20%. Liquid limit is 43% and plastic limit is 20%. Determine the plasticity index. Determine the plasticity index. Simple. What is the plasticity index? It is the difference of liquid limit and plastic limit. WL minus WP. Plasticity index is equal to WL minus WP. WL is how much? 43% minus WP, plastic limit is how much? 20%. So 43 minus 20%, that is equal to 23%. Plasticity index is equal to 23%. So let us stop here. Tomorrow we will discuss the shrinkage limit and then some problems on this Atterberg's limits. So what we have discussed today is, we will discuss about the Atterberg's limits. Atterberg's limits are nothing but the water contents, the boundary line water contents at which the soil mass changes from one state to other state. The fine grained soils can have the four possible states. One is liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, solid state. These are the four states the soil can exhibit in this any one of these four states. So based on the water content present in the soil, So because of these four states, there are three boundary lines. There are three boundary limits. Those three boundary limits are known as the Atterberg's limits. So nothing but Atterberg's limits are the water contents at which the soil mass changes from one state to other state. So there are four states: liquid state, plastic state, semi-solid state, and solid states. And the limits are three boundary cases. One is liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit. Liquid limit, plastic limit, and shrinkage limit. So at liquid limit, what is the liquid limit? It is the minimum water content at which the soil still in a plastic state. So if you add some more water, to this soil sample, then it will totally behaves like liquid. That's why at liquid limit also, soil will have some shear strength. Small shear strength will have. So next, plastic limit. Plastic limit means it is the water content at which the soil is still in the plastic state. So it is the boundary condition between the plastic state and semi-solid state. That is known as plastic limit. When the boundary condition between the liquid limit and liquid state and plastic state, that is known as the liquid limit. Next, shrinkage limit means it is the boundary line water content at which the between the semi-solid state and solid states. The boundary line water content is known as the shrinkage limit. The boundary line is known as the shrinkage limit. So then what we have discussed today is liquid limit. So we have discussed these two things, liquid limit and plastic limit. So liquid limit can be determined by using the two apparatus, that is the Casagrande's apparatus and then the static cone penetration method. So using the Casagrande's apparatus, what we are doing is we are determining the number of blows required for the corresponding water content. For that, we are drawing a graph taking water content on y-axis for a normal scale, and the number of blows on x-axis at a logarithmic scale. Then we are finding out a graph. Then from after that, at 25 number of blows, the corresponding water content is known as the liquid limit. And static cone penetration method, what is that method? In that, we are taking soil sample and 20 grams of soil sample which is passing through IS 425 micron sieve, and we are adding some water content and making it as a soil paste, and take the soil paste into that cup, and then keep that cup under the penetration meter. Then drop that penetration for 5 minutes so that it will be penetrates into the vertically into the soil sample. Then like that, then change the water content, again repeat the procedure. Then we can determine the liquid limit value. The WR is equal to 0.77 WY by 0.77 log y. WY by 0.77 log y. That y is the penetration in mm. WY is the corresponding water content. WY is the corresponding water content. So that we can determine the liquid limit. So generally standard test is Casagrande's test is the standard liquid limit test. Next, what is the plastic limit? Plastic limit test is very simple. So we are taking the soil sample which is passing through IS 425 micron sieve and add water such that you form a balls. Then take the balls and on a glass plate, roll it using your fingers. You roll it that ball on a glass plate such that ball is formed like a thread of 3 mm dia without crumbling. So at that the corresponding water content is known as the plastic limit. So once we determine the liquid limit and plastic limit, we can determine the plasticity index. How? Plasticity index is nothing but the difference between the liquid limit and plastic limit. So WL minus WP. Plasticity index is equal to WL minus WP. So next class we will discuss the shrinkage limit. Let's start. Then link up.
నువ్వు వేస్తే లింక్ అవుతుంది. ఫస్ట్ వేయాలి కదా. సాల్ట్